I put 7 people inside the pale forest and waited for all of them to get out for $5,000. Dude, like, I'm gonna die. I'm not living. The worst part about that opening bit is that I now have, like, an entire Mr. Beast video on my computer. As of today, which is October 2nd, which is Wednesday, Mojang has released the the snapshot for whatever the Pale Garden and the Creaking is. It says winter update, so I'd assume probably like January, whatever the fuck. I don't think it has a name. But they have released it as of today, and, I think people are boring, right? I think a lot of people suck at their jobs, so what I did, right, to experience the update, what I did is I went in the game, and I made a whole world type that was just the Pale Garden, and I lived through it. I lived through it for like 9 days. I don't remember how much it was. I didn't take notes or anything. But I lived through it, and I wanted to recount my experience, and I wanted to, share my thoughts, because I think, as well as many other people do about educating, I think it's fun to have education and entertainment combined into one. So that's what I'm gonna try and do. I don't know if I'm gonna succeed in it, but that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna try it. Like I said in the first clip, I didn't keep any notes on every day I went through. I know what I did, right? But I don't have any specific handwritten things or notepad, whatever, so I don't have anything here to specifically say what I did. But I can tell you first day pretty well. So I spawned in, and it was fine. I got wood, I went down, I did everything. I specifically mined a hole in the floor, like a cube in a box, underneath the biome. Just so I had like a little, startup base, and for the first day it was fine. I mean, it was just, it was basically just regular Minecraft outside of my whole inventory basically being clogged, because of the hanging moss, and the moss just in general was a major part of Q-Was inventory clogged. But it was soon fixed because there's so much wood in this biome. I probably had like 2 sacks of wood by the end of the first day, so. And then night hit, and night was an issue because I couldn't really go, I couldn't really leave my base. First off, a lot of mobs spawn, right? Obviously, oh shit, no duh, right? But I'm playing on hard mode, so they spawn a lot, and as well as the increase in mob spawns. Obviously, the creaking is there, which is horrible because, I don't have time to deal with like 4 of these guys. And what sucked even more was that I soon realized that there was a creaking heart right outside my base, and I was not prepared to go and kill it. So what ended up happening was, before the night started, it was probably midday, I went into a cave in hope to find iron, because, that's what you usually do on your first Minecraft day. You make, like, some kind of shit-ass base, and then you go and you find iron. The thing was, I couldn't find a lot of iron. I don't know if it's just the biome not having a lot of it, or if I was just extremely unlucky in my seed or whatever, but I couldn't find a lot of iron. Like, it was very scarce until maybe like the 5th, 6th day or whatever, but that's in the future. But when I came out the cave, it was nighttime, and the issue was that I had no food because no regular peaceful mobs spawn here. The only thing that's going to spawn here are hostile or neutral mobs. So there were no cows or sheep or chickens. So I had no consistent, reliable food source outside of wheat. And what's even worse is there's no villagers, and there's not even a wandering trader so I can get leads or anything. Not that I need leads, but basically your only food options when living in the Pale Garden is either rotten flesh or wheat. and you get extremely lucky if you can find like a mine shaft maybe that has some glowberries or pumpkin seeds and melon seeds or whatever, but I didn't find that. So I was scarce on food the whole time. Throughout the whole thing, I was very much starving myself to death. But you know, I got out the cave at night and I went back home. Took me a minute because I had to kill a creaking heart and then my game crashed, which was fucking wonderful. You know, I just kind of stayed there for the rest of the night. I didn't really know what to do. I grabbed sugarcane as well. Not that sugarcane would help me because I didn't have... I couldn't really do anything with it. I couldn't make books or anything. So, the first day was horrible. Needless to say. But by the second day, because I had to stay up the whole second day. I think I just went to go get water. But by the second day, I decided I didn't want to live in the hole because, one, the hole was super out of the way. It was like behind a cliff or something. It was behind some type of ditch, so it was hard to get into. And it was also super out the way, and it was flooded. It was like under the river and everything. So I decided I didn't want to be in the little hole in the floor. So I immediately got up and went to go. I just kind of tried to find a little place where I could just put some house. I wasn't going to make it extremely snazzy or anything. I walked about 15 blocks and I went there because I was like, I'm not going to fucking leave. I'm not going to walk that far because it's all the same. So I might as well just sit here. And also it's just a nice spot. I got water access and whatnot, so I was like, yeah, sure, you know, whatever. So I sat down, I chopped a tree, and I chopped a different tree. You'll notice it's floating in one of the images because I accidentally left 2 logs up. I cut them down later. But I wasn't exactly focused on vanity with my build, but actually I totally was, because as the great Luke the Notable once said, it's totally about vanity. I kind of just threw together some shit-ass shack, and I think it looked pretty okay. I'm absolutely loving the white wood. I haven't really done a lot with it, per se, but the pale wood, or the pale oak, or whatever it's called, it's a super good wood type. It just fits with everything. I saw like a side-by-side to like smooth, I saw a side-by-side of the pale oak with like quartz and a mushroom stem and just a bunch of other like white or generally gray blocks, and it's super good. I think Mojang really went hard. Mojang fucking cooked with the wood type. Holy shit. But I do think it was a good decision to have the regular log have the gray outside, and when you craft into planks, it's white. So, you know, like, it's not really a thing you see with other wood types, I guess, outside of like birch, maybe, or mangrove or whatever. Cherry wood, I guess, as well. Never mind. I say that out loud, and I'm like, oh, there's actually a lot that do that. What I was gonna say was, there's not a lot of wood types that have like the specific darker outside and then the lighter inside, but there's a lot. So I'm being a bit, you know, stupid. I'm being a bit silly by saying that. But you know, day 2, by the time I finished building my house, or finished because I was still doing it, but by the time I did my house, it was already night, and the issue was I was surrounded by like 3 different creaking hearts. Now, from what I remember from the Minecraft Live, Mojang did say that the creaking have like a range. They can, like, as far as they go. And I think I have a clip of me just like fucking with one of its ranges, and I didn't realize it. I was just like, this dude's not fucking moving. But the creakings do have ranges between it and the creaking heart to the point where it can't move. I didn't have that. I think I had like 3 creaking hearts that were directly outside my base. But wasn't the biggest deal. There was this one creaking. I named it Larry because why not? He was right outside. His heart was right outside my base, but he wasn't doing a lot. I was like on my roof, and he was kind of just down there. So I'm like, you know what? This guy's chill. I'm gonna keep him alive if I need him. So Larry's in my world. He's just there. His heart's deactivated and stuff. But if I want to bring Larry back, I can bring Larry back. But you know, everything else for day 2, I had a bunch of wheat seeds because there's a fuck ton of grass. So I just moved a bunch of gravel and dirt and flattened out the land. So I started like some kind of farm. It was a pain to even get one piece of bread. But I did that, and that was about the end of day 2. I went back in the mines, I think, or no, I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Day 3 was. So day 2 or something. I don't think I did anything day 3. I think I was kind of just fucking around. I think I cut down more trees. I think I went out for some other stuff, you know, whatever. Day 3 didn't matter, I don't think. I don't think I got anything into day 3. Day 4, probably the same. I think day 4 was just me going in the caves. I didn't find anything outside of like coal and maybe like 2 pieces of iron. So, you know, I was just like, sure, why not? But since nothing's really happened over those few days and I don't really have anything to say for it, I figured I might as well give my thoughts on the general structure of the biome. I know people are saying it's like dark, what was it, dark oak woods version 2 or whatever, and that's entirely fair because it's the same tree structure and everything. It's just with like the hanging moss and whatnot. But I do think this works to the benefit because the creaking hearts are hidden within the trees, so it does work, right? And you know, they are super closely packed together. I do think Mojang truly delivered on the idea. It is very closely packed together, so visibility is limited. I do think Mojang delivered on that, you know. It is very hard, or not very hard, it's not hard, I wouldn't say hard, but when facing a creaking in this biome, which you obviously would, I don't know why you wouldn't be, it's not very hard to lose sight, but due to the trees kind of getting in your way and the biome being a bit more unpredictable in terrain generation, you do need to make sure you know where you're going, so you do need to consistently turn around unless you've somehow memorized the whole forest. So the creaking is kind of banking on the fact that the weird terrain generation of this biome isn't in your favor. So, you know, again, I'll reiterate, Mojang did deliver on the promise of low visibility and, you know, the creaking being not hard to fight. You know, oh, that doesn't hurt him. Shit. What if I go higher? Everyone dies.